Hello and welcome to this video on how to properly model categorical indicators in confirmatory factor analysis in jamovi. My name is Geiser. I'm an instructor and statistical consultant with QuantFish. In this video, I want to show you how you can use the free point-and-click software jamovi to run a confirmatory factor analysis with categorical indicators. So categorical indicators, that means binary or ordinal variables. For example, item level data, test items that are scored right, wrong, or questionnaire items that are on a Likert scale from completely disagree to completely agree on, let's say, 4-point scale or 5 or 6-point scale. So when you have those sorts of indicators in a factor analysis or a structural equation model for latent variables, you're using those item level data, those item scores as indicators of latent variables, then you have to make sure that you use the proper estimation method, which is not maximum likelihood like you would use for continuous variables, but typically for binary and ordinal variables, you want to use a different estimator that is known as diagonally weighted least squares, or DWLS. In Mplus, this is known as WLSMV, and the same type of estimator is called DWLS in the LAVAAN software, and that's implemented in jamovi and also in JASP. And I have a separate video where I show this procedure in the JASP software. So let's go see where we can find the proper estimation method in jamovi. And so when you go to analyses, then you can see that there's a factor module here. And so currently you don't actually have the proper method for ordinal variables here in the confirmatory factor analysis module, but instead you have to go via the SEM, structural equation modeling module, which is the more general module. And so if you don't see that here, this icon, then you can go to modules here on the right hand side, and you can then select from the jamovi library. You can find that SEM module, it's in that list. So you go to that SEM module and then you click on interactive, so you don't have to use syntax. So when you go with the interactive module, you can do everything with point and click, including a confirmatory factor analysis. That is the same analysis that you would also get here, except that here you can choose the right estimator for ordinal variables, categorical variables. So let's click on that, and then you can see that there are latent endogenous variables, so dependent variables, and latent exogenous variables. And in the confirmatory factor analysis, we don't have any endogenous variables, so we can just simply define our factors as exogenous variables. Then they will simply be correlated, and then you have a confirmatory factor model. So I'm going to drag 4 categorical indicators here onto my first factor, so we can just call this factor 1, for example, or PIS. So the items here are labeled PIS. So this is my first factor, and you can see that automatically jamovi here uses DWLS, as you can see here, because it recognized that these items are not continuous. You can see that from the Venn diagram or category symbol here, that indicates that these indicators, these variables, are categorical variables. So as long as you define your variables properly in jamovi as ordinal or categorical, it will automatically then pick the right estimator under the structural equation modeling option. And so this, what we have right now, is actually already a confirmatory factor analysis, but with just a single factor with 4 indicators. So we already have a user model here, chi-square, for the single factor model with 4 indicators. You can see that that model is not rejected according to the chi-square, so model fits the data well. And so now we can add another factor by clicking here, add new latent under exogenous, so we can define another exogenous factor with the remaining 4 indicators SCR. So we're going to drag them here onto the second factor, and so I'm going to call this SCR. And so then you can see the output then on the right hand side gets adjusted, and so now jamovi fits the 2-factor model with 2 correlated factors. And so here you can see now the results. Again, DWLS is used automatically for binary or ordinal variables. So it's the same estimator whether you have binary variables or ordinal variables. You can see the chi-square now is 20.8 with 19 degrees of freedom and a p-value of 0.35, and that's not significant at the 0.05 level, indicating that the model is not rejected. There are some other versions here, or there's another version, scaled user chi-square, that is very similar and also non-significant. So those two are the relevant ones, user model, scaled user. So those two you want to look at. Maybe it's better to look at the scaled user chi-square, 23.6, 19 degrees of freedom, 0.213, so it's not significant at the 0.05 level. So our 2-factor model for those ordinal or binary items in this case is not rejected. And then you get other fit statistics as well, the SRMR, RMSEA, as well as CFI, TLI, and other comparative fit statistics or incremental fit statistics. You get the usual estimates, first from the measurement model, so those are the factor loadings in unstandardized form with standard errors, confidence intervals, and then the standardized coefficients are provided under beta, so those are the standardized factor loadings here, and then Z statistics and p-values for tests of significance. So you get everything nicely organized here in this table, and this table looks so good you could directly copy and paste it into a Word document. It looks already like APA style. So you can copy this table here by right-clicking on it. Also, you get a table with variances and covariances. So those would be error variances and then also factor variances, and the factor covariance is provided, as well as the factor correlation here again under beta in the standardized solution column. So it's all very nicely organized in this table. Here we also have the standardized error variances. And then next are intercepts. Intercepts are all 0 because those variables here are not continuous, so intercepts are not estimated. Instead, what is estimated are threshold parameters in a table here at the bottom. So those would be the threshold parameters for binary variables. For ordinal variables with more than 2 categories, you would have more thresholds per item. And you can do additional things here, so you can specify a second order factor model here as well. You can have endogenous models. So if you do have a structural equation model where you have a dependent variable or multiple dependent variables, then you can specify which variables are predicted by which other variables in the model. So you can run this also as a structural equation model with ordinal indicators. And then under variances and covariances, you can select certain error variances if you want, error covariances if you wanted to allow those. And then when we go to model options, you can see here that the automatic method is chosen in this case, which is DWLS when you have binary or ordinal variables. And so there are other estimation methods that you could use. For continuous data, you would use maximum likelihood, but for our current case of binary variables, this is what we want to choose, the diagonally weighted least squares estimator, which is the default estimator when the variables are categorical as they are defined here. And then when we go down, you can get additional output. You can get the parameter, you can print syntax examples. You can for example, here you have a table then with the equality constraints that can be defined in LAVAAN. So you could also use syntax to specify a model like this, and then you can have those. You can use those syntax examples here. You can get additional output. For example, you can get additional fit statistics. You could get composite reliability. You can get the observed tetrachoric correlations for the binary variables. For ordinal variables, you could get polychoric correlations. You can get modification indices and pretty much all other things that you can get for continuous variables as well. You can also get R squared for the indicators, for the items. And then finally, you can get a path diagram of your model where the path coefficients can be displayed, either unstandardized coefficients, which is the default, or betas, which means standardized coefficients, if you prefer those. So then all those different outputs will be added here to your output window. You can see here we get additional composite reliability indices. Now we get Cronbach's alpha, ordinal alpha, we get different versions of McDonald's omega, as well as the average variance extracted. So that's also really useful that you can get that for categorical variables as well. You get the tetrachoric correlation matrix here, and at the end you get a path diagram. Here you can see it. You can see the standardized factor loadings are displayed here in the path diagram, as well as the correlation between the two factors. So that's how you can specify an ordinal factor model, an ordinal confirmatory factor analysis in jamovi. It also works with a full structural equation model when you have a structural model with structural regressions, and it automatically provides you with a proper estimation method. It uses the proper correlation matrix, tetrachoric correlations for binary variables, polychoric correlations for ordinal variables. So it's very easy and convenient. I hope you found this video useful. My name is Christian Geiser. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.